Guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to another video. You've got Mr. Everything English, and in today's video, I am going to go over the top 10 language devices that you must know whether you're in year 7 or whether you're in year 13 or whether you're in year 11. You have to learn these language devices very, very well. Now, why do you have to learn language devices? Guys, English is filled with language devices. Whether you're reading a text, whether you're being told to pick out language devices from a text, whether you are having to write a piece of writing and you have to use them in your writing, it doesn't matter. You need to learn these. Now guys, the key part is learn them and get it out of the way. Don't be sitting a lesson thinking, simile. I remember watching a video on YouTube, but I can't remember what the video said. Learn them. So without further ado, let's go over each of the 10 language devices. Is when you compare two things, that's four things, is when you compare two things using like or as. For example, he ran like a cheetah, or he was as big as a mountain. You are comparing two things. You are comparing maybe a person to a mountain or a person to a cheetah, but you have to have in there the word like or as. I hope that makes sense. Number 2, metaphor. Metaphor is a language device that a lot of people think they know what it means, but when you actually question them, they don't really know what it means. Now, in my opinion, that's because metaphor has been taught in a very overly complicated manner. Guys, a metaphor is when you compare two things by saying something is something. For example, a common metaphor is, a lot of parents will say, my daughter is a princess. You're comparing your daughter to a princess, but you're not saying like or as. You're saying is. My daughter is a princess. If I was to, get really angry and you would say, Mr. Everything English, you are a monster. You've not said, Mr. Everything English, you're like a monster. You said you are a monster. You've compared two things by saying something is something. Number 3, let's up the bar a little bit. Let's go for oxymoron. Guys, oxymoron is when you have two opposites side by side. Literally, side by side. No words in between. So, for example, if I said, in Romeo and Juliet, we learn how love hurts. Love hurts. Love is a positive emotion. If you love somebody, it's positive. Hurting is negative. Love hurts, put them together, it's an oxymoron. An oxymoron is when you have two opposite words side by side. Another example could be, I have a dark light. Dark is dim, light is bright. So guys, these are oxymorons. Oxymorons is when you have two opposites side by side. Number 4, let's go over the brother of oxymoron. Let's go over juxtaposition. Now, juxtaposition, guys, is a much higher level language device. Now, oxymoron is when you compare two things side by side. Juxtaposition is when you compare two ideas within a paragraph. So when you have two contrasting ideas. So for example, coronavirus is a very bad thing. Yeah, it's a very, very bad thing. But if I wrote a paragraph about how coronavirus is the most amazing thing in the world, then I've juxtaposed the idea of the coronavirus. I've written it in contrast. Stereotypically, a princess is supposed to be beautiful. If in my story, my princess is not beautiful, then I've juxtaposed the idea of a princess. I've contrasted it. Number 5, let's now go for a straightforward one. A rhetorical question. Guys, rhetorical question is simply when you ask a question in a piece of writing. How would you feel if it was you? What would you do if you were in my shoes? What was that noise? This is all rhetorical question. Number 6, let's go over alliteration. Guys, alliteration is when you have words in a row that start with the same letter. Now these words can have words in between, so can have the word and in between, but it's generally words in a sequence that start with the same letter. So for example, the big blue ball bounced blissfully down the road. B, 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 B. I believe you're number 7. Number 7, guys, I'm doing them in pairs. Let's go for sibilance. Sibilance is basically alliteration, but of the S letter or the S sound. So if I said, the snake slithered silently and slowly down the road, something, I don't know why a snake's on the road, but bear with me. The S sound is called sibilance. You can call it alliteration, but if in your writing or in your exam, you're able to say, that's sibilance, then you're at a better chance of getting a higher mark. Personification. Now guys, personification is when you give a non-human thing a human quality. For example, the pen, well, it's not sitting, but the pen was standing up. The pen was laying on the table. The door was waving at me. The leaves on the tree were looking at me. The statue was following, the eyes of the statue were following me as I walked through the room. We are giving non-human things human qualities, and that is what personification is. Guys, number 8, let's go for hyperbole. Hyperbole is when you over exaggerate. For example, right now I'm fasting. So if I said, guys, today when I open my fast, I'm gonna have 10 pieces of chicken, 20 portions of chips, 5 boxes of pizza. I'm over exaggerating my hunger. If I said I'm so tired, I haven't slept all night. I have slept, just not a lot. Alright guys, number 9, let's go for onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, guys, are words that describe sounds. So if I said the clock went tick tock, I don't know why I'm doing this because that's not tick tock, but you get what I mean. If I said the clock went tick tock, that is onomatopoeia. If I said, I don't know, the car went bang, bang is onomatopoeia. It is words that describe sounds. And guys, finally, let's go for number 10. And let's end this with a straightforward language device that is used very commonly. Guys, let's end it with repetition. Repetition is when you repeat a word or phrase throughout a piece of writing for a particular effect. Now, guys, look, there's loads more language devices. Yeah, there's loads more. But I wanted to give you 10 that you need to learn inside out for any piece of work you're doing that is related to English. Alright guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please click subscribe. If you have not shared the video, please share the video. Guys, don't forget, I offer online classes. So if you ever need extra support, drop me a message and we can get you started. As always, guys, thank you for watching. It's been Mr. Everything English. Peace.